Hey guys, Vapor Bro here, coming at you with a fresh video. I want to discuss cards that should be unbanned. Now, the ban list is coming. It's been coming for a little while now. Konami recently emailed a player that the list is coming soon, and I figured let's do a few videos on cards that should be banned, cards that should be unbanned, limited, etc. Now, for these 8 cards, they're currently banned, and I believe that they should be limited. I'm not saying they should go back to 3, but that they should be limited. And, eventually when the ban list comes, which I foresee will be in the next few weeks, probably the next 2 weeks, I'll do a review over that ban list and go over the changes. Now, the first card I want to go over here is Tribe Infecting Virus. Now, specifically this card, its effect is you can discard 1 card from your hand and declare 1 type of monster. Destroy all face-up monsters of the declared type on the field. Now, a big reason why this card is currently banned and why a lot of people don't foresee it getting unbanned is because of Mermails. Now, Mermails is a fantastic deck. It's not really tier 1, but it's tier 2 right now. And I don't know if just adding this card would be enough to make it tier 1 again. But what I can tell you is that the card is pretty great, and I think maybe a once per turn clause where you can only discard 1 card in your hand per turn would be a little more fair. But even if it's a 1-of in every Mermail deck, I don't think it's going to be as broken. It'll be a power-up, but it won't be so broken that it wouldn't be. I think it would still be fair if the card were still to be at 1. Next up, we have Wind Up Carrier Zenmaity. It's a rank 3 XYZ, and its effect is once per turn, you can attach 1 XYZ material from the card, special summon a Wind Up from your hand or deck. When a face-up Wind Up monster you feel is destroyed, you can attach 1 to target that monster and return that card to the hand. Now, I know there were some crazy combos with this, but honestly, if they were to just have 1 of these things, it would give an immense power-up to the wind-up engine, which has been, horribly power creeped. Nobody plays wind-ups anymore. So I feel that if they were to limit wind-up carriers in Mighty, it would be, balanced enough where the deck would maybe become a little bit more viable, but definitely not broken at all. I think you can have 1 of these for sure. Now, next up, we have Witch of the Black Forest, which is one of the classic cards that has been banned for a very long time. And a big reason why this is included in the list is because of the recent April 1st Japanese ban list. And Witch of the Black Forest, its effect is when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. Now, it is a powerful effect, but it's slow. And it's slow enough that I feel like, in the current metagame it wouldn't be a big deal. And, 1500 or less defense from your deck. I know it's a lot of different monsters, but I feel like it's balanced enough that, if you just throw it in a random deck, it's not really going to do that much. Now, if it was just sent to the graveyard, maybe, but field to the graveyard, I think it's, being able to add a 1500 or less defense monster from your deck to your hand is fair. I don't think that's crazy. I think if you just have 1 of those, it's not a big deal. Now, next up is another XYZ. This one is Laval Chain. I can't pronounce this for the life of me. Now, its effect is once per turn, you can attach 1 material from the card to activate 1 of these effects. You can send a card from your deck to the graveyard, or you can choose a monster from your deck and place it on top of your deck. Now, the biggest reason people use this card is obviously to mill from the deck, and I feel that, just having that mill effect doesn't make it uber broken. I don't think that just milling, it's a fantastic card, but having 1 of those, I think would be fair enough, and it would be a situation where, you could just play it in a generic XYZ deck. You can get that little bit of boost, and, you're really sacrificing something, because with a rank 4, it's either this card. I'm not going to say it again. This card, or you could go into Utopia the Lightning. So you're making a sacrifice by choosing Chain instead of Lightning, in my opinion. And I feel that compared to, hey, a 5,000 attack beater that you can't respond anything to, or send a card from your deck to the graveyard, I think that the Chain card is a little bit more fair. And so I think it could definitely have its place getting unbanned. Now, next up, we have Solemn Judgment. And its effect is when a monster will be summoned or a spell or trap is activated, pay half of your life points, negate the summon or activation, and if you do, destroy the card. Now, I know for a long time, Solemn Judgment was a 3-of. And literally, you could play 3 of them in your deck, and it was completely unlimited. And I feel that in this metagame, of course, it would be a staple, but you're paying half your life points. Okay, it gives you some strategic advantage, but like I said before, it would only be 1 of in the deck. You pay half your life points, you get to negate something. That's it. These decks that rely on billions of combo plays. For example, you saw him Judgment a Momo Rat. It's fantastic. So I feel that this card is balanced enough that we could have 1 of them. And right now it's actually limited in the OCG. So I definitely think that Solemn Judgment, of all the traps, is the #1 trap that should come back in the meta. Now, next up we have probably everyone's #1 card, I think, to get unbanned. And that is Elemental Hero Stratos. And it has 2 very good effects. When it's normal or special summons, you can either destroy spell or traps equal to the number of hero cards, which is pretty good, or you can add a hero monster from your deck to your hand. Now, both of those effects are pretty good. Together, they're very good, but it's not ban worthy. And really, elemental heroes need that boost right now, so that I feel that it would give you a bit more utility with Shadow Mist. But even then, I don't think Stratos alone would make it a tier 1 deck. I think it would be a really nice boost for the deck. And I also feel that it would just boost a lot of rogue decks that play heroes, because it's just a great card, but it's really not broken at all. I really don't understand why it was banned in the first place. So please, Konami, unban Stratos. It's time, okay? Freaking OCG is getting 2 Stratos, okay? We can survive with 1 Stratos. Next up, we have Brain Control, which is another card that was somewhat recently, limited in the OCG, which is effect is pay 800 life points, and you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and you get it until the end phase. It has a cost. It's until the end phase. Yeah, you're getting to control your opponent's monster, but I really think that this card is fair. There's so many ways nowadays to banish or destroy cards, and just taking control of your opponent's monsters is a really great effect, but we can survive with the Brain Control. I mean, especially in a meta where there's so many ways to just have a completely unstoppable field, we need tools to kind of break through that. And if your opponent has a totally awesome and a Cyber Dragon Infinity and all this crazy stuff, having a Brain Control as like a second option so that you can stop their negation, because of course they're going to have to negate the Brain Control, and then something else to kind of get that advantage back. I feel that Brain Control would be great for this meta. Now, finally, the last card on this list is Sangan. And now Sangan got an errata like 3 months ago or something. And Sangan's effect is, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a monster with 1,500 or less attack from your deck to the hand, but you cannot activate attacks or the effects of cards with that name for the rest of the turn. So I'm pretty sure that's the it was not like that before. That is the errata. And that's a fair errata. I mean, if you can add it to your hand and then you can't even activate it, you're fine. And frankly, it's the same way with Witch of the Black Forest. Not only are they similar cards, but Witch of the Black Forest is also receiving an errata, although that hasn't been announced yet. So Sangan, I feel, is just like Witch of the Black Forest, it is too slow to be overpowered. They are great cards, but they are not overpowered. Having to send things from the field to the graveyard is a little too slow for this meta. So you can really bring a lot of decks, to be more equal with each other if you have these staples come back into the meta. And so those are my 8 cards. You know, I want to start doing more of these top 8 videos. This one wasn't a strictly top 8, but I'm going to be doing top 8s for video games. I'm going to be doing some more Yugi tubing. I'm going to update the Yugioh Monday completely. It's going to be like an all new series. I'm going to be doing a lot more commentation. It's going to be a lot more duels, not just 3 duels where everything goes super slow. So I really would appreciate it a lot if you guys would subscribe and like my videos. Team Vapor Bro for life. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and I wish you all a great weekend.